We're really doing a lot of on-the-nose jokes.
Yeah.
Do you want to say HodgePodge first? Or
Sure.
Yep.
Yeah. Welcome to HodgePodge. I'm Fig.
Goddamn you and that surprise harmonica. I'm Dan.
And I'm Tom.
Relax there, guys.
Welcome to another episode of HodgePodge. What's going on, guys?
Nothing, man. What's going on with you?
Not much. A little bit of everything.
Well,
Anything new with you guys?
yeah, I have a couple things that are new with me.
What's new with you, Dan?
We have a new table again.
Yeah,
Sorry about that.
Our millionaire investor has bought us a new table again. This millionaire investor is really doing a lot of work for HodgePodge.
I wonder who's giving him a beach. It's not me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not beaching him.
I'm not beaching him.
He asked to be,
To remain
Unbeached.
unbeached.
He wants to be beachless?
Beachless.
Well, we got a new table, so I think every 2 episodes we're just gonna get a fresh table,
Yeah.
put a fresh, lay a fresh table out. It's like butcher paper at the doctor's office. Just lay a fresh
We're
table
going to have a
out.
beach towel in the next episode.
I hope that this is the last thing that we change in the podcast for a while.
Ask the investor. It's like somebody forced your hand to click this and hit buy now.
It was cheap. It was so cheap. It was so cheap. And I think it looks better than the glass table. The glass table was weird.
I like it better. Little round table.
Yeah. It's nice.
Yeah.
That was my nickname in high school.
Little round table?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
The other big thing in the room is
Me.
no. As soon as I said those words, I'm like, Fig is going to say him. As soon as I said those words, I knew Fig was going to say that. The other elephant in the room here. Oh God, that's a poor choice of words.
Yeah. It's Fig.
Also me.
Not what I meant. I think you're handsome as hell. The other thing that I wanted to notice is Fig is beardless.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, I know.
Fig has moved on to goatee land.
know.
When you walked in my house, I said, ew.
You said ill. Those were your first words were ill.
Yeah.
Did you say that?
Yeah, I was like, ugh.
Oh no, it looks good, Fig.
No, you look good no matter what.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
But
That's
when you
really
come
nice
in
of
a suit, so since this new table means that my legs are showing again, I was like, well, I got to change out of the sweatpants, my fat pants.
Fuck, I'm wearing Birkenstocks right now. I must
Yeah,
look
it's
like
fine. You look like episode 1.
Yeah, it looked like episode.
it's just funny. It's just such a juxtaposition, like you said.
Yeah.
It's like you have Fig over there dressed in a suit, looking to the nines, and then you have me in Birkenstocks.
Nines.
He's not dressed to the nines. He's looking towards the
I'm
nines.
looking towards the nines.
You're
Is
almost
that-
there. You're almost there, Fig. You're almost there.
No, a little bit lower. A little bit lower. Yeah, right there.
Yeah, 9 o'clock.
Wait, that's not the saying?
Dressed to the nines.
What did I say?
Look at the nines.
Looking at the nines.
Something
Looking
like
like the
that.
nines? I don't know. I don't know. I was never good at speaking.
Yeah.
Well, no, Fig, you do look handsome as heck. I mean,
Thanks,
is this
guys.
work attire that's going on right now?
Yeah, I had to dress fancy, and I came straight from work, so
You look super handsome.
thanks. Won't be like this often, so
So you
enjoy it.
I will
So
never
you-
look like this again.
So you look super handsome. I had to change out of my fat pants and my Uggs to actually put on actual clothes in the event that
Yeah.
I was seen from the waist down.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Do you tuck your Uggs into your... I'm sorry.
Do you tuck your Uggs into your Uggs?
I did not tuck my Uggs into my Uggs. I never have.
Can I-
so
can
I
I-
have man slipper Uggs. I don't have boots.
Oh.
Oh,
I just have man slippers that I.
Oh, okay.
I
You know, I have 'em too.
My goal in the summertime and the wintertime is to just never tie shoes. I don't like tying shoes.
Oh,
My boots that I have on
I
right
agree.
now, those are a zipper on the side. Boom, zip them right up.
Yeah.
I
Leave
have
the laces where it's at.
2 of those. Yeah.
Flip flops in the summertime, and Uggs in the wintertime. That way, I just slip my gams in there.
I like my pizza bagels in the morning, my pizza bagels in the evening,
Yeah.
and my pizza bagels at supper time.
Okay.
But when pizza's on a bagel,
You could kind of eat pizza anytime.
anytime.
That literally came out of nowhere. Absolutely came out of nowhere.
So where were we?
We haven't started yet.
We're talking about the things that are new. Obviously, the table,
Yeah.
my weight, my beardless.
Oh, so yeah, let's get back to that. Why are you beardless?
So I work. I had some big presentation coming up
Yeah.
tomorrow, so I had to make sure I look somewhat reasonable. Although the beard was fine, I didn't see anything wrong with
Oh,
it.
the beard was so
It-
good.
It was mentioned to me many times. It would be
beard
best
was
that I shaved it off.
Your beard was so
So-
thick and full and voluptuous.
Give me
Yeah, it
another
was.
3 months, and he'll be back.
Yeah.
When he fell
So-
asleep on Sundays, I would just go through his beard and pick and just
He'd find little scraps of what I ate that
little
day.
scraps.
yeah.
Like a monkey cleaning
Yeah.
another monkey.
It was
I would
like
just go for it.
like a little baby bird. It was just chewed up food that
Yeah,
just
well,
fell in there.
Just a little bit
You
of
just
bird.
kind of
Wait, you chew up food and then spit it into your beard?
no. Sometimes it falls out.
Oh, yeah.
It
okay.
just squeezes right out.
No,
of
I
it.
know. Watch.
Like a little bit of bird.
Is that a bug from last week?
Yeah, it's a bug from last week. It's a stinky bean from last week. Hey, Fig, you said that you went to a couple Broadway shows?
I did. Actually, I went to 2 this past weekend.
Cool.
The first one was Drunk Shakespeare. which I do recommend.
Drunk Shakespeare.
Drunk Shakespeare
Is it on Broadway?
It's off Broadway.
Okay.
But it's a show, really funny show. So about that show,
That's it.
I always want to pause to see what happened. No, it was basically there's a couple of actors that act out Shakespearean scenes, but they also try to improv at the same time. One of those actors has 5 shots prior to the show beginning.
Really?
And they have to try to not screw up, or they take a shot.
That is amazing.
There's someone who pays tickets to be the king of the show,
Yeah.
and then they can stop the show 2 times at any time and give them 2 additional shots. So this person could have up to 7 shots while doing the show.
Wow.
We got lucky that the guy that was doing the previous show was chosen as the guy to take the shots for the second show also.
Oh man.
So he had 11 shots before we even started the show. Dude was sweating, bright red. He ended up the show with his shirt off, lying on the ground.
That is
Really?
It was hysterical. It's raunchy. It's just everything that I want.
So
in
when
a
you
show.
say the show, Drunk Shakespeare, which Shakespeare play was it?
It was a mix of a bunch of different Shakespeare.
Okay.
So
Okay,
it's basically a bunch of Shakespeare
They
quotes.
just threw a bunch of
Yeah,
stuff
they
in there to screw him up.
Yeah, and they throw things to other people as well. So that was the first show I saw. Definitely recommended.
Yeah.
Tickets are reasonable. I think it was
Nice.
like 60-something bucks, 70
Oh,
bucks.
that's really cheap.
Yeah. And then the other show I went
For
to
a
see-
Broadway show.
For a Broadway show, off Broadway.
Oh, excuse me.
For an investor.
For an investor. I'm not an investor.
It's chump change. Does it come with free tables?
I'll have one next week.
We should line up all the tables behind us, like an RIP situation. We got the other tables being used to store the sour cream and onion chips.
Yeah.
And then your other
that's
table's over now is a laundry folding table.
Yep.
Okay.
It's
They're being put to
natural
use.
progression, you know.
They're being put to use at least.
It's like to the death to the graveyard.
Yeah.
Become the sour cream and onion chip
Yeah.
holder, and then they become the.
We should have just bought this in the beginning.
In the very first place, yeah. This is the
Guys, I don't
nicest
think
table
we
we've
knew
had.
it was gonna actually be a hit.
I don't
when I
think it's
say
a.
be-
I don't think it's a hit.
either. So the second play I saw was Speak No More, and I had no idea what was going on the first 20 minutes of the show, like none whatsoever.
What's it about?
So I'll start from the beginning. So,
Good place.
It must be good.
So they throw you in a room with a bunch of people, and it has like an old timey feel to it, like old jazzy days. And they say, we're gonna split you up into groups. These people come with us. Put on these masks. Whoever's not wearing a mask is an actor in the show. Okay, cool.
Okay.
You need to follow around one of the actors, and that will be the story. They're gonna tell you the story. For the first 20 minutes, I'm lost because it's in a hotel, or I guess an old hotel is just a state theater now, and I'm walking around room to room trying to find someone, and I'm just keep running into other people with masks on. I'm like, okay, and I can't talk. They tell you not to talk, so I can't say, hey, where are we supposed to be going?
Really?
So I'm just lost. I'm just trying to follow people. So for 20 minutes,
That's
I'm walking
awesome.
around. Yeah.
That's already awesome.
So it's dark. Like, visually, probably one of the best things I've ever seen. Music's cool. Like everything's cool about it. Finally,
visually.
Visually, it's awesome.
Visually, yeah. Like us.
No,
Visually, we're awesome.
Audioly.
Visually, he's
Audioly.
talking about visually is like the music.
Yeah, visually the music. Visually, the music was awesome.
See the music.
But no. So we finally, I ended up finding one of the actors. And I start not chasing this girl around, but come here, lady.
Get over here. Did you wash your hands when you came out of the bathroom?
Callback. I like that.
but I started following this lady around, and like a group started occurring, and everybody starts following this lady around, and eventually another actor comes into play, and they have a scene together, which they were both nude at one point, and I was like, oh, that's a penis. Oh, those are boobs, and I was not expecting.
Like right in front, like in a room like this.
Yes, like you would be standing there with your penis out in front of me. I'm like,
You don't want to see that.
Get it up. No.
but anyway, so they start doing their scene. They're like naked in front of you, and then the guy goes off, and then there's a group of people that follow the guy, and then people stay with the girl. Still having no idea what's going on. No
This
idea.
is getting weird.
It's getting weird.
Yeah.
Still having no idea what's going on. I start following this lady, and they go to like different scenes, and it start interacting with other people, other actors. At the end of the show, I walk outside. I'm like, what the fuck was that? No idea what's going on. The lady says, well, if you want to figure out what's going on, you could buy this book from us for $20. And I was like, fine. So
It's like walking
Or
through the
you
gift
can-
shop after a roller coaster. Like,
Yeah.
crap, I gotta get
I have
the
to get
t-shirt.
it.
Yeah. Or
So-
you can go back probably, right? And like rewatch.
Here's what I found out. It's 16 hours worth of content.
all in one.
And they only give you 3 hours to do it. So you're
Right.
not going to see the whole thing in one,
Right.
in one viewing.
Wow.
Tickets are expensive. They're like $170.
That's
What's it? And say
insane.
the name one more time.
Speak No More.
That sounds
So,
really
I
interesting.
think I've
The,
heard of
the
it
premise
before.
now that I figured out is it's basically the play of Macbeth. And I was following around Lady Macbeth, and she was doing all her scenes acted out. Macduff was another actor. Macbeth was another actor. Everybody from Macbeth had their own roles,
Right.
but they were running around to the other places, and people were chasing them for their stories.
Wow.
It's crazy. So it was really
That
cool.
is such an interesting concept.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's just I had no idea what was going on for 3 hours until afterwards.
Yeah, but that's like me. That's like me every day.
It's like Westworld.
So, what Broadway shows have you guys watched? Anything recently?
No, nothing.
You've never watched a Broadway show?
I mean, I've gone to a couple, but
not recently. But yes,
Not
I've
recently.
been to a bunch.
Okay. What's your favorite?
Stomp. No, I'll be
like a
honest.
double-edged sword.
No, I'll be honest with you. Wicked was great.
Oh, Wicked
Yeah.
was probably
Love
my favorite
Wicked,
too.
and what was the one that I thought I was gonna like that I wasn't crazy about? Phantom of the Opera. Wasn't crazy.
Phantom
about
of the Opera was pretty good. I
these
liked it.
just seem so like
It was old
run of the
school.
mill. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jersey Boys was also really good.
So this
Yeah?
is Jersey Boys. Was
Jersey
good?
Boys was good, yeah.
But talking about Phantom, the only thing that I remember, now that I'm thinking about it, my brain now thinking about it like 6 or 7 years ago,
Yeah.
I think he looks like Johnny from The Room. Not to keep bringing up The Room, but that's what I remember. Like he had long hair. But at one point, I think he did like there was a gate coming down, and the Phantom had to get under the gate, and like I think he rolled, like stopped, dropping, and rolled, got up all like in one swift move, and just like presented himself to and I instantly
Like
started cracking
Fabio.
up. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
And I instantly started cracking up, and no one else was laughing, and I
Yeah.
couldn't stop laughing. So like that's ridiculous that he just did that.
So it was
because-
like the Seinfeld with the Pez.
yeah, because you know how everything in Broadway, is,
It's over the top.
It's times 10 over the top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A, because you're playing to the last row, so
Yeah.
they have to see all your movements. But B, just because it's Broadway.
Right.
And so I knew that's what he was doing, but it's just ridiculous. He was just, I'm under the gate.
So I love art. I love all types of media.
Okay.
Someone's gonna hate me for this.
No, boy.
I don't like Broadway shows.
Okay, that's an interesting stance.
I don't know if I don't want to say I hate them because I've seen like Mary Poppins.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not gonna go see Mary Poppins. And then I came out of it and I was like, that was actually fantastic.
Right.
The way the scenes worked and stuff like that. I love how it works, how all that stuff works. But
I will say this, and that's interesting you said that, because a lot of people, the big thing going to New York is going to Broadway.
Yeah.
But for me, it's usually after the intermission I come back and I'm like, oh, there's more of this.
Yeah.
So like I get the point.
yeah.
I don't know. I really think it depends on the shows that you're watching. I mean, if
Sure
if
it does,
it
yeah.
doesn't interest you, like something like Rent, I could watch a million times, and I love.
never saw
every
it.
single
I love
time
that. I
every
love the
single time I
movie.
watch it.
I never saw Rent.
I mean, the Rent movie is good too, but if
Yeah.
you watch the show, it's also very good.
Did you rent it?
No, I borrowed it.
You borrowed Rent?
I borrowed Rent. I saw Book of Mormon also.
I had never saw that one.
Saw
The
that
tickets
one.
were always too
Yeah,
expensive.
that's the only reason.
thought it
That's
was
next on my it's next on my list.
I love South Park, but I thought it was overrated.
Really?
I thought it was overrated for the price that we paid for tickets, and we were like in the nosebleeds.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it was worth it.
You really can't buy like $40 tickets anymore for those type of shows.
Let me.
True.
Was it good? Yes, but was it like what everybody like is making it out to be? I don't think
Raving
so.
about it, yeah.
What about Hamilton? Have you seen Hamilton?
No.
I haven't seen it. Well, the tickets were like impossible to
Insane,
get for
right?
the
Yeah,
longest
I'm
time.
sure it's died down in terms of some of but I think Lin-Manuel Miranda's might be coming back to it. I think I
Really?
saw as the main, so it's gonna jump back up.
I mean, the thing is, like, something like Fences also, like, you got to watch other shows that are meant for Broadway.
Yeah.
So
Well,
good.
In case you're just joining us, Tom hates the arts and hates Broadway and wants it to die a slow death. In case you're wondering.
No, that's not.
No,
that's
that's
not at all what I said.
Oh, it's not.
No.
That's what I gathered from it.
The day the music
Oh, God.
died.
So, Abby really wants to see Chicago, and I think
Chicago is really, really good.
is it?
So I saw the movie, of course, and I was like, oh, the movie was good. Maybe I'll go see the show.
I've never seen the movie.
I love the show even more.
Yeah.
I mean, because I saw the movie, I knew a lot of the songs. So, like,
Yeah.
I found myself singing along. He had it coming. He had it coming. And it's just, it just.
Nice.
Oh,
give me
I know that song.
Yeah, you see?
Give me that one more time.
He had it coming. He had it coming.
I like that move
He
you're doing.
had himself to blame. He should have seen it. You should. That whole song. Like,
Yeah.
you find yourself singing
I feel like
along.
I'm there.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like
Yeah.
I'm there.
Exactly.
Don't
So-
get me wrong. I think that there's something about it. Like it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's just not for me. A lot of it is not for me.
Yeah. I mean, there's other shows also in the city. I mean, I went to a bunch of improv shows, which are hysterical.
Yeah.
I've done
Um,
that too. Yeah,
There's
and even comedy clubs. There's nothing like going to
no
a comedy club in
clubs.
New York City.
I went to a couple of acapella shows, which are really, really good.
Yeah. I've
Like-
been to one. Our friend.
Yeah.
Leo.
Yeah.
Great
He-
job,
he-
Leo.
Good job, Leo.
Yeah.
But yeah, they have a bunch of them all over the city.
It's just most of the stuff that you see on Broadway is way too
Oh,
expensive.
absolutely, I agree with you. But
know,
there-
I just
you
don't-
can find reasonably priced shows too.
I just don't get how like a show like Phantom has been running for as long as it's been running. It's got, let's say, 8 shows a week.
Yeah.
I don't get how there's always fans. I mean, I get New York is busy.
Yeah.
I get New York has tourists. I get New York has people that just want to see the show over and over again. But I don't get how it's constantly not sold out, but constantly
there's people there. And
there's always people there.
Tourism, like they go and you're like, oh, let me go see Book of Mormon because I know that's hot. And it's like, oh, it's $180. What can I find for cheap?
Yeah.
And they go see these shows instead. Now, something like Cats, I don't know how the fuck that was around for so long because there's
how
a
long
bunch
was
of
that around?
like 55 years of just people licking themselves. And I'm like, guys, like
I remember being a kid and seeing the commercial for Cats.
Scared shitless.
Yeah.
Like scared shitless because these guys make no sense. Just
they're human cats.
I remember
that's my biggest fear. Human cats. Gentlemen, this podcast, as well as probably the next 3 podcasts, it's holiday season.
It is.
Okay.
It is.
I was in the mall.
Yeah.
And I think I was in the mall a few days ago doing some Christmas shopping, and I wanted to throw this out there for everybody because it seems like when I'm in my car, or it seems like when I'm in the mall, foot traffic, either way, I'm the only person that seems to want to maybe get out of the way or look for other people. Everyone else just seems to be set on their path, as if it's Donnie Darko and they have that orb of clear following them around where to go. And I'm just like, oh, excuse me. Oh, sorry. Excuse me. Sorry. And everyone's just like this, just blind, walking. I don't get why am I the only one that wants to just make sure everyone's going on the right side of traffic and stuff.
I feel like it's the same thing when I walk in a city. Like sometimes, oh, excuse me, pardon me, excuse me. Other times I just put my head down and just bolt through them. Like
you power through.
Yeah, like if you're not going to move out of my way, especially now during the holidays, the streets are full of people.
But see, the thing is, you have earned that commuting from New Jersey to New York every single day on a bus, and then having to walk. So he earns that right. He earns that right. He earns that right from when he gets off the bus traveling from New Jersey to New York, and he has to power through all the people to his job. You have the right to just kind of bowl through. When it's just the mall, and I feel like everyone's on the same playing field.
Right.
Everyone just bums. If I didn't move out of the way, I would be run over. It's like George's deal with the pigeons. We had a deal in Seinfeld. He had a deal. They're supposed to get out of his way. We had a deal.
What about when people don't say thank you when you hold the door open?
Oh my!
I'm a big
because
proponent.
That happens all year round.
I just say you're welcome as they're walking by.
I do that too.
You're welcome.
Oh, I do that.
That's the equivalent of the thumbs up when I drive.
And those people are like, oh, thank you.
Some of them don't even care.
Like
some of them, whatever.
Like really? No, they don't even acknowledge that.
They just think that doors are held open for them all the time.
Yeah.
They don't even go. Oh, thanks, God.
Yeah.
No.
Nothing.
They just.
So what you have to do, Tommaso, is you have to combat that with some comedy to make yourself feel better. So when you're at the mall and you got the automatic doors, you previously held the door for somebody. Mm-hmm. And then the next door is an automatic door. Just use the force on it to open it up. That's it. Just hold it and use the force.
No, you know what
that'll make you feel better.
You know what I do when people walk by and they don't say thank you? I go, oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. And they look at me weird like I'm like the weirdo. No, I just held the door open for you. You didn't say one word.
Well, I just feel like that. I feel like even just the acting like other humans don't exist and they're just powering through in the mall. I just feel like that's adds things to the human race that we don't really need to be there.
You know, I was going to say something. I don't mean to get serious for a second, but we're all here on this earth. Act like it. Be nice to each other. No, seriously. How come people?
I feel like that's something that would be above a public urinal.
Yeah.
We're all on this earth together. Act like it.
But
Tommy,
be nice to each other. Why can't people just be nice?
To me, the please and thank you, or just not going out of your way. Like the mall experience itself doesn't have to be surrounded by so much negativity.
Yeah.
The world experience has to be surrounded by so much negativity.
I understand people have things going on and they're mentally not checked in sometimes.
Just gotta look up. You just gotta look up.
You just
gotta look up when you walk.
What do you think happened to the door? It just magically opened by itself.
Oh, you're still on the doors.
I'm still on the doors. Because that really is that grinds my gears.
No, it's
really grinds my
a big
gears.
one of mine.
I agree with that. I agree with that completely.
Yeah. It's annoying. But yeah, no, it's just, and that used to happen to me all the time, especially when I used to work in retail. Like I used to work in retail, I used to have to open doors for people.
Yeah.
Oh, welcome to Sears or wherever.
Yeah.
Oh, I hated retail so much.
You're following
here's the thing.
Okay.
Here's the thing. I work customer service for years. I hated that job. I still took care of my customers, but I hated that job. I worked in Sears for a while, and I was customer service. And
Sears Hardware.
Yeah. And we used to get like just some grimy people in there, like, oh, yeah. I bought this power tool from you guys in Kansas City store, and I don't have a receipt, but here I have this.
These people that you guys are creating, I want to see what they look like. These characters you're performing.
Old like, oh, I got this BoJack horse hammer, and I'm like, BoJack horse hammer. I don't think that's a Sears product, sir. So I don't.
Before it even came out.
Before
this guy had a BoJack horse
hammer.
hammer.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, sir. I guess I'll take it, and I can give you store credit, but I can't give you cash back.
Yeah.
No. I want cash.
Yeah.
So he's returning this BoJack horse hammer, and I have no idea what to do with this thing. So I call my supervisor. Hey, supervisor. I'm not going to say his name here, but hey, supervisor, I need you to come up here. This guy's trying to return a BoJack horse hammer. He comes over.
Make up a name for the supervisor real quick.
Frankie.
No, Frankie.
Frankie. So Frankie comes up to the thing. He's like, no, we're not taking it back. That's not a Sears product. And I'm like, okay, I kind of told him that we're going to go and store credit. He's like, all right, fine. Store credit. Give it to him. He's like, no, I don't want store credit. I want cash.
Yeah.
I paid cash in the Kansas City store for this BoJack horse hammer. And I'm like, he changed personalities all of a sudden. Yeah. It wasn't just me. This guy really changed personalities.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I want this. I want cash. We didn't give him cash. And now there's a line of people. I'm the only person in the store doing customer service. So I'm trying to take everybody. I'm like, sir, can you step aside, please? So I take everybody. This guy's staying there calmly, not doing anything, just kind of like paying attention to us, what we're doing. And I'm like, okay, sir, how can I help you now? We get more customers. I'm like, step aside. One more time. We'll take care of you in a second. At this point, he starts getting fed up with us, and he takes a swing at my supervisor. Yeah. Completely misses
over a
with the BoJack horse hammer?
No. I had the BoJack horse hammer.
Oh, yeah, you goddamn better have had that BoJack horse hammer.
He missed me by an inch. It was kind of like a swing, and I was like, oh. And he just knocked my supervisor right in the face.
Wow.
What? And my supervisor runs into his office.
Poor Frankie.
Yeah, poor Frankie. So he runs into his office, and all I hear is, call the cops from his office. I'm like, you just left me out here with this guy who just swung at you?
Yeah.
Like, okay.
I like how he said, call the cops.
Yeah. He just hit his office. Fucking Frankie. Fucking Frankie. Frankie. But anyway.
Hey, Ralph. It's Frankie.
Call the cops.
Call the cops.
So I call the cops, and I'm like, 911. And they're like, yeah, how can we help you? I'm like, someone just punched my boss in the face.
I gotta go.
Yeah. So they asked my address and all that.
Yeah.
I'm like, give them the address.
I'm
like,
at Sears.
Okay. So like the guy is now pacing in front of me, and he's asking for his BoJack hammer back now. And I'm like, I'm not gonna give it back to you. It's mine now. The cops are coming.
Yeah.
You punched my boss in the face.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't know
You
what.
sacrificed this BoJack.
This
hammer.
is what you get.
Yeah.
You attack someone. I'm keeping your hammer.
Yeah.
So boys, out of scotch. Don't refill me. So
I'm out of beer. I'm out of beer also.
So we're gonna do final thoughts, but I think we want to get a little bit serious for a minute, Tom.
Yeah.
I think you want to touch on an important subject based on the fact that we're currently on the interwebs right now.
I don't know how to start this, but
Just throw it out there. Just go for it.
Do you guys know what net neutrality is?
I do.
I've been following along a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know what net neutrality is, it is a good thing.
It is a very good thing.
It's something that you want.
Yes.
Right now, Ajit Pai, the head of the FCC, is trying to repeal net neutrality.
He's an asshole.
Right? And if net neutrality does go through, you possibly cannot watch our horrible podcast.
Basically, net neutrality is what there's no regulations for what you can put on the internet right now. That's pretty much the premise.
In terms of bandwidth.
And turn of bandwidth and stuff like that.
Yes.
Whereas opposed to if they decide to regulate it, they can have more companies control the internet on their behalf for their purposes.
Think about, I think it's the internet they said in Brazil, I believe, has an internet without net neutrality where, you want Netflix and YouTube and other streaming services, it's $4.99 a month.
Exactly.
Oh, you want music, you want Apple, you want Spotify, you want this, it's $4.99 a month.
Exactly.
Correct.
That's without net neutrality.
Exactly.
What the internet would look like. A very communist-like internet.
Yes.
Right. And, if it gets repealed, I mean, Comcast, Verizon, they can tell you what you can watch and what you can't watch on the internet.
Yeah.
Based on who has controlling interest in a company.
In the company,
is
correct.
what would be how you would consume
the internet will now be company ran.
Right.
Essentially.
So I mean, we could go on for hours, and I don't want to get too political with it, but
no, it's just keep that. That's an important issue.
It's a very important thing. Net neutrality is good. Go to battleforthenet.com and put your information in there, and you could write Congress, okay? And it's something that's gonna happen on December 14th. So next week, we're gonna put this podcast out
right before that
on Wednesday.
Yeah, right
next
before
week.
that.
This coming Wednesday.
And it's gonna be, I think that's like the day or two before.
Yeah.
It's important that it doesn't go through.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's important.
And
it's something that I really, really strongly believe in.
Yeah, because if you guys want to vote a thumbs down on this podcast, you won't be able to.
Yeah.
So think about it that way. If you want to shit on the podcast,
We might not even be able to make one after December 14th.
Realistically, the only people that want this to pass are corporations that have some type of money to make off of it.
ISPs, internet service providers.
And that's
Absolutely.
that's once again, that's the 1%. That's not us. That's not what we're trying to go for.
No.
We want to live our lives like we've been living them.
Yep. So I think that's a great message to put out there, Tom. Thank you for bringing that up. That's really important.
Sorry to get serious for a second.
That's
that's
incredibly important. If you guys want to give us a thumbs up or thumbs down, shit on the podcast or comment on the podcast, we want you to be able to, and I feel like that allows you to do that.
Right.
So I definitely think that's an important thing. So we threw up all the information on it.
I'll put everything in the description below.
Yep.
Yeah.
Great job. So with that being said,
I'm Fig.
I'm Dan.
And I'm Tom.
Later.
See you guys.
That was good, guys. That was good.
Fig, Danny, and Tom got a podcast. I think you should like it. Fig and Danny got a podcast. Go ahead and like it. We're the podcast boys. Oh. Hey guys.
Are you still here?
Oh.
Guess out.
Sorry. Night, guys.
Go ahead and like it.